How did I cope with my last relapse after 8 years sober? What a nightmare that was. Never going back there again. Can't go back there again. 2014, as I mentioned last night, I stopped drinking for 8 years and started again. Stupidly started again. So anyway, got back to the UK and I thought, well, it should be easy enough to get the diazepam again. I've had any for 8 years. Tried to look at the doctors and he refused to give me any medication. I was shocked, visibly shocked, really bad. And so another doctor still didn't get any. So I knew I was in a total mess. I knew I was in a mess. I tried to get them privately, couldn't get them. So I kept on drinking. I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll self-medicate for a little while and I'll just come off. I'll slowly taper off because I've been off sober for 8 years. Everything's fine. My body will be in good nick. No chance. Mentally, it completely effed me up, to be honest. My anxiety level was sky high, higher than it had ever been in my life. And I started to feel unwell about going out of the flat, about just being me. I drank more and more. Got worse and worse. Very quickly, got worse and worse. Then I got some stuff off the internet, which didn't help, I don't think, because I was still drinking. I didn't want to stop. I couldn't. I felt that this medication on the internet wasn't the real stuff. It probably wasn't. So I continued to drink. And I thought, is it my surroundings? I moved into another flat I had on the quayside. That was even worse. I was more isolated. And I was getting worse state of health generally. Wasn't going to the doctors for anything else. My parents started to notice it, my daughter. Even people around me started to say, God, you're not looking too clever. This is only in the first year of relapse, remember. So I drank from 2014 to 2019. And that first year, things went down really rapidly. And I was so convinced that after 8 years, everything would be just right again. And it wasn't. Because with relapse, everything, I think it's kindling effect, that's what it's called. Everything sort of bolts on together. And each time you relapse, the withdrawal is worse. You don't have any hangovers, it just goes straight to withdrawal. So I used to get these pills delivered from Kent, I think it was. I always used to panic about not getting the pills. I sort of got addicted to them as well, I think. I don't know, they didn't me any good, if that makes sense. So eventually I got the courage to get into the doctor again, told him what I'd been doing. He called me, well, a bit of an idiot, and I suppose I was, but never mind. Eventually got somebody out diazepam, but not enough to get me off. So I found myself deteriorating generally. And I sometimes used to look in the mirror and think, I didn't even recognise myself. And over the next couple of years, I still went to family meals and saw my daughter, but I was always carrying a rucksack full of beer and I was hiding things, became more sneaky. I was running out of money at times, but I'd still got an income, which was good. Not good, but you know what I mean? I didn't have to panic about that. I was getting Dial a Drink to come along. They would park the van outside the flats 4 in the morning, bring some more drink in. You know, cans and cans and cans and cans of beer, enough to start a bar. I was just sipping it all the time. I was like a top-up drinker then. I had 24 hours a day I was drinking. I was just sort of lying in bed, drop off to sleep and wake up and have more drinks. And try and stagger to the bathroom, feeling sick, cough up this yellow bile I wasn't eating. By about 2017, like 3 years into this relapse. The biggest, longest battle of my life. That was horrendous. Then I had rats in the apartment, got the rat people in, and then they wanted to come every other day and early in the morning, so I stopped them coming in. I couldn't face visitors. Didn't want to open the post. Then I noticed my stomach was starting to get larger and very hard to the touch. And I had this umbilical hernia thing. I didn't know what it was. At first it was like a bubble in my belly button, which over time seemed to get bigger and bigger. And my stomach was getting harder and harder. And I thought, what the hell's all that with? I didn't Google it. I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just part and parcel of the way I was living. Not eating properly, not looking after myself. And a couple of lads in the pub said, that beer belly's getting a bit big, isn't it? Because I thought it was a beer belly, see? But it couldn't have been because really I wasn't eating. And then I used to have the odd pizza and Wetherspoons and this sort of thing. I drifted into sitting in there some days. But the only way I could get out of the flat was to get drunk first. Not drunk, but just have a few drinks. I couldn't do anything without a drink. I couldn't even get out of bed without having a drink. And that was all down to this one bloody relapse. The things got worse. I started to look grey. I noticed that my muscle mass was diminishing rapidly. My legs were going really thin. So I wasn't doing any exercise. Well, I wasn't eating properly. I was just drinking. And I was trying to go to the pub just to get out of the house. The taxi drivers got to know me, then they were helping me in and out of the taxi. I couldn't even get round the block. I was frightened to walk because I fell over, you see. Really weak, and I felt dizzy. I felt the best way to describe it is when you're sort of detached from reality. You don't feel as if you're present. And every day I would think, well, I hope tomorrow's better. Then things started to break, and then I couldn't get the heating fixed. And I just used to live with loads of jumpers on, and the flat wasn't getting cleaned. The rats were here now and again, and it just got worse and worse from there. But physically I felt depleted, and mentally I was even worse. And the anxiety I had from just speaking to people on the phone, it was absolutely incredible how fast it caught up with me. Like I said, after 8 years sober, within the first month I was back drinking full time again. And I was so frightened to stop that I didn't, basically. I tried to go a couple of times to taper off at my parents' house, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 type thing. That didn't work, so I felt it wasn't like a clean break. So I'd come off in the past, I had this clean break. When I started to taper off, I used to get, okay, I feel a little bit better. And I used to go by the pub again when I came home. I remember going to Manchester, and my daughter, and she knew, my daughter was much more clued than my parents. She knew I had to have some in my system. So we used to go and get a box of Stella. When she got to bed, I used to think, I had this fear of missing out. No way I couldn't go to bed. I'm going to go to sleep. There's a few more bottles in there. I'll have a few more, Got to get the taste, and I started to feel a little bit better at times. But my health was fading fast. It was a very bizarre thing to describe. I came back to the flat alone, and I just kept doing the same thing. Just topping up. And one night I said to one of the guys in the pub, was ex-police as well, like me, I said, Marty, I said, do you think I look ill? He said, you look fucking hideous. Hideous. I went to the pub mirror, so staggered. I used to have a key for the disabled toilet, which was nearer the door. One of the lads got me a spare key, and I looked at myself in the mirror, I thought, God, you look really bad. Completely, washed out. My teeth had started to go yellow. My hair started to fall out a little bit. I thought, wow. And then obviously I noticed the stomach. So as time went on, this belly button thing got worse, and it actually started to protrude through my shirt. Probably the size of a golf ball by then. And that got worse over time. I remember going to the pub one night, and this guy called Ian said to me, if you don't go to the hospital, so he kept saying to me, go to the doctor's, I couldn't get the doctors. I felt so anxious. I couldn't get the doctor. And if you don't ring 999 tomorrow, you go to the hospital, I'm going to drag you there. So I was like really worried about that. Because the anxiety level is so high, even people trying to help you, you don't want to know. And so that night I got a few more to drink. I went home, I was drinking a bit of Guinness then. I got up in the morning, I thought, I've got to get, because when you go to bed and you're anxious, you don't want to wake up really. That was one of the things, I didn't want to wake up. I got up, woke up, covered in sweat, the usual, drunken sweat nights, and around 999. But before I did that, I had 4 cans of Stella. And they took me through this triage thing, the ambulatory care and all that, and I was admitted straight away, really. And then 2 days later, they told me I had basically cirrhosis of the liver, alcohol-related liver disease. That was all they told me. And then they put me in this, like a drip thing. I felt as though I was going to withdraw. I said to the nurse, I'm going to withdraw. I said, no, you won't withdraw. It didn't give me anything as far as I remember. And then I came out with this great big needle and started to drain the fluid off. And I've done other videos about the medical side of it. But the point is, as soon as I relapsed, after even 8 years, I knew I was in trouble. And that's why I keep pushing this relapse thing. Because what happened to me was I nearly died in the end. All because I picked up again. Don't pick up that first drink. Please don't do it, because it will kill you. You pick up the first drink and you relapse, you've got to stop immediately. That's all you can do. Stop immediately. I hope you benefit from these videos. I hope I'm helping people. I do a lot of live broadcasts as well at night, about 9 o'clock. If you want to get involved with them, please jump on them and have a chat. It's a good place to have a chat and a safe place to air your thoughts and your troubles, really. If you benefit from the videos, then please like and subscribe. And I've got an ebook out as well, Get Sober, Stay Sober. And hopefully these will get the message across that this is a killer. It's not to be taken lightly. I'll speak to you all soon.